Hey guys, welcome to another stop tour video. I am at St. Rose of Lima in Carbondale on an absolutely monster of a Möller, Opus 5333, built in 1928. There are 6 divisions. You have great, solo, choir, swell, string, and your pedal. And besides a few re-leatherings and minor repairs to the pipe board itself, everything is completely original as of today. Everything that's behind these walls are 1928 pipes. So over here is, all the way to the end, is the solo division. Right behind me here is the great choir and the pedal division. Over here on the right, just beyond my fingertip here, is the swell division. And all the way down there, right by that pipe column there, is the floating string division. So, I'll point over here a little bit, and we'll start off with the solo division. So, we have an 8-foot stentorphone, which is the loudest diapason in the library of organ stops. We have an 8-foot tibia plana. We also have an 8-foot tibia clausa that goes along nice with it. So here's the clausa by itself. Here's the plana. Here they are together. I'll bring in the tremolo. You get that theater organ feel to it. So we also have a gross gamba. With its celeste. And our 4-foot is a Hope fife. It is rather quiet despite it being in the solo division. There is no 2-foot on this organ, so if you want a 2-foot, you'd have to bring solo to solo 4. And even then, it's really quiet. So, yeah, there's solo to solo 4, 16 unison off. You can also bring the string organ onto the solo. As far as our reeds, we have quite a few. We have a rank of tubas. We have the 16-foot tuba. It's extended up into the 8-foot. And the 4-foot clarion, which is an extension of the 8-foot tuba. Put them together. Now, if you want a huge, ultra, mega, super, the Pope is in town on short notice and he wants to celebrate Mass and you need something to really wake people up, you bring the 16-foot and the 4-foot on and you have this absolute cacophony of reeds. We also have one more reed. It is a 8-foot English horn. That is really lovely. So that's the solo division. As far as the coupling action goes, besides bringing the string organ and its unison and sub and super couplers, you can't bring anything up to the solo. You can bring everything down, but you can bring it down to everything, but nothing can go up. Moving on down to the swell here, we have an 8-foot open diapason. A 4-foot flauto traverso. A 2-foot flautino. So there's not really a full principal chorus here. Let me turn it over here so you can get the swell there. But we also have an 8-foot gedeckt, which is really lovely. Goes really well with a 4-foot. As far as strings go, we do have quite a few. We have a violin diapason, which hybrids itself between diapason and string, mainly due to the shape of the pipe. We have the classic solitional with its voix celeste. So here's the solitional. With the celeste. Now if we take off the solitional, we add the viol d'orchestra, you get a more powerful stringing effect. The solitional and the viol d'orchestra really work very well together in kind of darkening the foundation so that the celeste can float on top of the whole thing. So that's very nice. We do have a tune 2/3 flute 12th. There is no option to build a cornet on this swell, so I'll bring that on with a gedeckt. Oh, I also forgot, we have a 16-foot board on. Very, very lovely, very nice and soft. The board as far as our reeds, we have a 16-foot double trumpet. 8-foot cornopian, which extends from the double trumpet. We have an oboe, 8-foot oboe. And we put the oboe on with a tremolo. We also have an 8-foot vox humana. And a dedicated vox humana tremolo. So yeah, you have 2 tremolos on the swell, which really helps, especially if you don't want it really makes more sense for vox humana to have its own tremolo rather than try to work the existing organ tremolo into the vox humana for the division itself. So as far as coupling, you can bring the string organ to the swell at 16/8/4, whereas the solo you only have the unison option. And you got the sub, super, and the unison off for the swell. Moving on down to the grate, we have a nice 16-foot open diapason. It rumbles, but it's soft enough to kind of. So we have 2 open diapasons. We have a first and a second open. Here's the first. There's the second. So either one of them will work well, but usually the second one is used more often for helping with congregational singing here. So second note, 4-foot octave. Two-foot super octave. 3-rank mixture. If you bring the grate to grade 4 on, then it'll really enrich it. There's other things here. You have an 8-foot Grossflöte. Clarabella, really lovely Clarabella. Eight-foot Urzaler. And 8-foot viola da gamba, because you gotta have at least one string in the grate, right? An 8-foot harmonic flute. 4-foot, sorry. Bring it with a gross flute. As the dedicated great reed is a French trumpet, which, living up to its name, is very nasal, very pungent, punchy. We also have a lovely set of chimes here. And we have an 8-foot harp. With an extension of 4-foot. I probably wouldn't use that much. And as far as coupling, we have the sub-unison and super couplers. We have string organ 16, 8, and 4. Can bring the solo down to the grade 16, 8, 4, swell to grade, and the choir to grade 16, 8, and 4. So, speaking of choir, let's move on down to that. So, we have an 8-foot English open diapason. Really nice 8-foot concert flute. We also have an 8-foot flute celeste to go on with the concert. Very nice and gentle. We also have an 8-foot viola, I forgot about that. Much lighter, much less prominent than the others. So, moving on, we have an 8-foot Dulciana. With a Nunda Maris to go along with it. Really nice. We have a 4-foot roar flute. I'll bring back the concert flute. And a 2-foot piccolo. Bring a 4-foot back. So on this organ, unfortunately, there is no possible way for you to build a cornet, because we do not have a 1 3/5 stop at all. We only have the 2 2/3. You build a half cornet, the 8/4, 2 2/3, and 2. But that's about it. As far as our reeds go on the choir, we have a 8-foot French horn, and Möller French horns are really, really rich and warm. Also have an 8-foot clarinet. And a tremolo, which is really a hit or miss on this organ. You can also bring the string organ on at the unison. We also have a 4-foot harp and the option for the chimes. As far as bringing things down to the choir, you can bring the solo and the swell down at 16, 8, and 4, and you can actually bring the grate down to the choir at the unison. I also forgot, you can also bring the choir up to the swell at the unison, as well as a solo down to the choir at the unison too. Forgot about that. Speaking of string, since we're on the choir, we're gonna bring on the string to the choir just on account of because it's floating. So we have an 8-foot bell gamba. Let me turn this over here so you all can hear a bit more. Bell Celeste. We have an 8-foot violin. Violin solist. Solutional. A 4-foot violina. And a really nice 2-foot string 15th. So that's the string division, bringing us back onto the center we have a pedal division. We have a 32-foot resultant. There are a few stops where it's really rattly, so I rarely, if ever, am going to use it. So we have a 16-foot first open diapason. A 16-foot second. Like I said, everything is 1928, so there have been no changes or alterations to the pipe, so of course there are going to be some uncooperative sounding coming from the chambers. 16-foot violon. Foot subbass. Foot gedeckt is borrowed from the swell. We have an 8-foot octave. Eight-foot cello, borrowed from the great. We have an 8-foot flute major. The other 3 stops are borrowed from the great. They're the flute dolce, super octave, and the swell 4-foot flute. As far as the reeds, we have the 16-foot tuba from the solo. We have the 16-foot trumpet from the swell. And the 2 top reeds are the tuba and the clarion from the solo. So that is this absolute gargantuan organ. There are 8 divisional pistons for each of the keyboards. We have 4 for the string. We have 16 generals. Well, 12 of them are in use. 13, 14, 15, and 16 are not in use. You have reversible actions for the pedals, so you could bring the pedal up to the choir, great swell in the solo as some sort of a bass coupler action there. You have the sforzandos, you have 5 shoe expression pedals, including your crescendo. You have the string, you have your great and choir, swell, solo, and your crescendo pedal. And we have a 12-key transposer, which is really nice. So that's this organ in a nutshell. Oh, coupling. Swell, great, and choir can be coupled down to the pedal 8 and 4. That's allowed. That's it. That's all I need to say. All right, so that's this organ in a nutshell. I will see you in the next one.